Hey, it's Ron. I just wanted to send a quick video today with our text that goes out. And I was coming into the office area here and I looked back on my shelf there and I have a few books that are sitting there. And there's one book that Susan and I have had for years. And I typically try to do an annual reading of it. And it's called The Dream Giver. Matter of fact, I gave this away years ago to people. It's by Bruce Wilkinson. I don't even know if it's in print anymore. They're out there. I'm sure there's an audible version of it. But he tells a parable in the first half of the book about a guy by the name of Ordinary living in the land of nobodies. Working a usual job, or in the land of familiar. He was a nobody. His name's Ordinary. He's a nobody living in familiar, working a usual job. All those little vague names and titles. And he gets the idea that, you know what, he didn't want to keep doing this, going to his usual job, coming home and staring at the box TV each night, not doing the dream that the dream giver had given him. He had had a dream in the middle of the night and a vision. And so it's a parable, that story of going for the dream and everyone trying to convince him not to do it. And then the back half of the book are practical steps and applications. And so I typically always try to read it annually. I love the parable. And I was just quickly reading the opening chapter of the back half of the book about Bruce trying to share with his Hollywood producer friend that everyone has a dream. And the Hollywood producer friend was trying to convince him, no, everyone doesn't have a dream. There's only certain people that are big dreamers. Not everyone is a big dreamer. And he couldn't convince him. And so he said, just give me a chance here. And the waitress at the restaurant they were at came up and her name was Sonia. And he asked Sonia, are you doing what you'd always dreamed of doing? And the conversation went through, I won't go into all the details, but anyway, she dreamed of being a nurse. And because of life, she got married, kids, everything else. Her mom had been a nurse, her sister was a nurse, and she was waiting tables for them. And anyway, he walked her through a process of finding a way that she could go back to school, finish, and become a nurse. And her mom helped her take care of the kids, all that kind of stuff. And it convinced the producer that, well, if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, that every one of us, there's a dream that the God of the universe has put down inside of us. And so often we get stuck in the land of familiar and just become one of the other people walking around us, and we don't live the dream and the purpose that God put in us. And so here we still are at the beginning of 2021. I just wanted to encourage you today. God put something in you. It's big. It may not seem big to others, but it's big to you. It almost seems impossible to you, probably. And how could it even work? It can work. And there's a way to make that happen. And so I want you to begin to pray for that this week. Of God, I want my dream to become alive again and not be a frustrating thing that when I'm at the end of my life, why didn't I go for that? Why didn't I do that? What's holding us back? And I know what's holding us back, the same thing that holds me back on things. And I just want to challenge all of us. Let's live the dream that the dream giver has given us. And if you can find a copy of this, or maybe I gave it to you at one point, dig it up. The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson, or listen to it on Audible. I'm sure there are hand-me-down books on Amazon or something, but you'll enjoy it. It's a quick read. It's a very thin book, but I bless you today with health, healing, wisdom, and knowledge, power and prosperity, and the gifts and the fruits of the Spirit of God to be evident and flowing in your life. I love you so much. Look forward to seeing you soon.